Welcome to TV Africa News and thank you for always joining us. This is Africa Today as always. My name is Najuma Lima, but first are the headlines. Museveni charms UK investors to Uganda. Kenya celebrates 59th anniversary as a republic. Biden to rebuild ties with Africa during the US-Africa Leaders Summit. 2022, the greatest World Cup tournament Africa has ever experienced, says Nigeria coach Sunday Olise. President Museveni spent the bigger part of Monday making a case for Uganda as a favourable and profitable investment destination, rallying UK investors to set up business across different sectors of the economy, including agriculture and minerals. We have more. The president made the remarks while engaging with potential investors, fund managers, processors of food and large commodity buyers at a business breakfast meeting in the United Kingdom. The breakfast meeting, organized by the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development in conjunction with the Commonwealth Enterprise Council, was held at the Royal Garden Hotel in Kensington, London. Making a case for Uganda, President Museveni said that the East African country has no enemies in the world, hence willing and ready to work with everyone to tap into its agriculture and mineral potential. He told the potential investors that Uganda has an improved market share in the international scene, but urged that would only happen following concerted efforts with potential visionary investors who identify with Uganda and Africa as the future production hub of the world. He said Uganda's neutrality puts it in a comfortable position for doing business with everyone around the world. Mityana Municipality MP Francis Zake has shunned the Parliamentary Rules and Disciplinary Committee sitting today, chaired by Abdul Katuntu.
Parliament's Committee on Rules and Discipline was set to start its investigation into the alleged misconduct of Mityana Municipality MP Francis Zake, as directed by the Deputy Speaker Thomas Tayebwa, but unfortunately Zake was a no-show. Zake is accused of breaching Parliament's rules of procedure when he raised a matter of national importance under the disguise of a procedural matter. The committee chairperson Abdul Katuntu last week confirmed that the investigations will run until Thursday. He said that the first witness will be the technical staff of Parliament and the other identified MPs who were in the House at the time. Katuntu revealed that they had already written to Zake, informing him of the committee proceedings, and he was free to come with his lawyer or cross-examine any witness summoned by the committee. Zake last week, while raising a matter on the floor of Parliament pertaining to the alleged kidnap of Ugandans, is said to have behaved in a manner not befitting for an honourable member of Parliament, as the Deputy Speaker Tayebwa's efforts to put him to order failed.
Kenya celebrated 59 years of independence from British colonial rule on Monday, the 12th December. Kenya's 50th President William Ruto paid homage to those who helped free Kenya from British colonialism nearly 6 decades ago as heroic defenders of the country's sovereignty. We have more on this report.
Speaking in Nairobi, Kenya's 50th President William Ruto said that independence had brought many achievements and much progress to the country. He said that in the 6th decade of their independence, they can proudly cite many achievements and impressive progress made through their own consistent efforts as evidence that their freedom struggle was neither an empty political adventure nor a reactionary born of idle resentment. Ruto said Kenya is consistent in peacekeeping missions to ensure security and stability in Africa. He said that they are proud of Kenya's consistent record of leadership to advance the cause of peace, cohesion, security in their region. Ruto added that under various regional and continental frameworks and with the support of international partners, they are deploying their position as a regional anchor state for the benefit of their neighbors and region.
Let's take a quick break. We will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching TV Africa News, The Right to Know. Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi denounced over the weekend the expansionist tendencies of Rwanda, which he again accused of supporting the M23 rebellion that has seized large swathes of the territory in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo in recent months. Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi said during his State of the Nation address to the two houses of parliament meeting in Congress that the year 2022 has witnessed the resurgence of Rwanda's expansionist impulses under the guise of M23. Mr. Tshisekedi insisted that the DRC is the victim of an unequivocal aggression by Rwanda, adding that for nearly 30 years, the Congolese East has been plagued by violence due to the presence of numerous armed groups in the almost total indifference of the international community. The M23 is a former Tutsi-dominated rebellion that took up arms late last year and conquered large swaths of territory north of Goma, the provincial capital of North Kivu. Since then, the DRC has accused its Rwandan neighbor of supporting the M23, a claim made by UN experts and publicly stated by the US and Belgian diplomats. But Kigali denies this, accusing Kinshasa of collusion with the FDLR, a Hutu movement formed by some of the perpetrators of the 1994 Tutsi genocide in Rwanda. Tshisekedi, who came to power after the controversial December 2018 presidential election, has also said that 2023 will be essentially an electoral year. Moving on, over 139 people who were arrested during a bloody protest in Chad in October have been released after a month and a half in detention. A total of 80 received 1 to 2 years of suspended sentences, and the remaining 59 were acquitted after a mass trial of 401 people.
Outlaw demonstrations were held on October 20th. To mark the date when the military had initially promised to hand in over power to civilians. While speaking to the media, Rashid Mahamat Alamein, the second deputy prosecutor in the N'Djamena, said that all of those people have been given a release order, meaning that they were free from that moment and can go home. The trial was held behind closed doors for 4 days in late November, without lawyers and independent media, in the prison of Korotoro, 600 kilometers north of N'Djamena, the capital where the arrested demonstrators had been transferred in a mess. At the same trial, 262 people were sentenced to 2 to 3 years in prison for unauthorized assembly, destruction of property, arson, violence and assault, and disturbing the peace. They were arrested in N'Djamena during and after the October 20th demonstration against the government, which left some 50 people dead, mainly in the capital, when the police opened fire on the slightest attempt at a rally.
Away from that, photographer Edward Batiski exhibited in London a collection of photographs captured in Africa between 2015 and 2019. We have more. According to photographer Edward Batsiki, most of the imagery that has come out of Africa either is more an anthropological study of the colorful people still living traditional lives in Africa, or it's the safari images. All, on the other hand, it's also feminine, all war or very dark and negative images of Africa. Edward said that there might be some other approach, another way to look at the continent and what is happening there. He added that he is viewing globalization and Africa becoming the next business destination for many countries. The photographer's work chronicles themes such as terraforming, extraction, agriculture, and urbanization, mostly using aerial perspectives. Edward concluded that the aerial point of view gives the sense of the landscape, how it's being changed and what's being changed. The exhibition coincided with the publication of Edward Batski's latest book entitled African Studies. Let's once again take a quick break. We will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching TV Africa News, the right to know. In our business news today, Africa leaders are meeting this week in the United States of America for the annual US-Africa Summit. The summit brings together several African leaders, organizations, and top US government officials. Let's take a look.
The Biden's three-day summit will feature announcements of new U.S. investment and highlight food security worsened by the invasion of Ukraine. The summit will also focus on values such as democracy and good governance, as well as fighting climate change. One key topic will be the fate of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, the 2000 deal that granted duty-free access to the U.S. market for most products from sub-Saharan nations that meet standards on the rights and democracy. The pact expires in 2025, leading African leaders to seek clarity at a time when the United States has soared on trade deals. The United States had invited all African Union members in good standing and with which Washington has full relations.
In health today, it has been proven that SGBV does not just threaten the lives and the future of the victims, it also hinders the development of the country as a whole. In the mining sector of Rwanda, a male-dominated sector, there have been numerous cases of discrimination and sexual harassment subjected to women, especially widows and single mothers. We have more on this report. Globally, mines have created a hyper-masculinity subculture which has made the mining work environment unfavorable for women. SGVB are often carried out by fellow employees but are effectively allowed to continue unchecked due to inadequate workplace protections or outright refusal to recognize SGBV as a workplace issue. Undergraduates in desperate need of jobs have been put in positions where they have had to give sexual favors to mining managers with hopes of getting jobs in return. According to Winnie Kaitesi, an employee in the mines, in the past she had experienced sexual harassment in the mines, but she was afraid to report it to anyone because she wanted to keep her job. Aline Providence, a SGBV activist, said that before getting jobs, women have to give something, not only sex, but sometimes they have to pay a given percentage of money to be part of the group because it is said that women are weak and they cannot contribute as much as men. And in sports, Nigeria head coach Sunday Olise has said that the 2022 FIFA World Cup is the best tournament Africa has ever experienced. Morocco became the first ever African nation to reach the semi-finals of the World Cup.
Speaking ahead of Morocco's semi-final clash against defending champions France, Olise called this the greatest tournament for his continent. Olise went on to say that African players have made the UEFA Champions League what it is. He added that the continent has had great players play in the European League and the South Americans and the Europeans. He added that Africans have made soccer in the Champions League what it is. The variety, the beauty that comes with it, and now the Arab world has joined in, which is also great. The Nigerian coach stressed the importance of further diversity in coaching and football for the game to progress. Morocco topped Group F, finishing ahead of Belgium, Croatia and Canada to qualify for the knockout stages of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. They then overcame 2010 champion Spain in the round of 16 stage, beating them 3-0 in a penalty shootout. The Atlas Lions then knock out Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal in the quarter-finals, beating them 1-0. Interestingly, Morocco has not conceded a goal from an opposition player in this World Cup, with the only goal against them coming through an own goal from Nayef Agad.
That was the news. Thank you for always keeping it TV Africa. Please do stay tuned. More programming coming your way.